Call me barbaric, blame it on my Viking roots, but I'm unashamed and proud of my love for grilled meat. Obviously, this is a bit dramatic and clearly contrived. I mean, I don't always use a sword to cut meat in the kitchen. That's ketchup, by the way. But there is something magical that happens when you cook this way. The primal heat of the fire, the smell in the air, the chemical reaction that happens when grease meet flame, melted fats, burned bits, and all the goodness. The Midwest is sort of jokingly known for grilling out in the backyard. But every coin has two sides, and inherently, as a Dane, my other favorite food is seafood. Fish, shrimp, crab, lobster. The combination of these two things done at the same time. I mean, who can't relate with that? But that's not the question here. The question is, what does any of this have to do with Ecuador, Uruguay, and soccer?
Oh, wow, I saw it!
We got enough. As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a great meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook. Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world right here in St. Louis to find good food and experience other cultures. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart. Because food is love.
It's gonna be delicious.
Food is love. Love your food. It takes two halves to make a whole. Two to tango. And opposites usually attracts for a reason. Meet Maria and her husband Danielle, but you can call him Freddy, owner and operators of Asador del Sur. Translated, Asador del Sur means Southern Grill. Danielle was born and raised in Uruguay, while his wife Maria comes from Ecuador, each bringing with them the food of their homeland. Together, covering a broad spectrum of seafood like Dungeness crab, langostinos, alongside a menu with a variety of grilled meats. I'm dropping by to see what they do here and have a light supper with them before they close for the day. Based on what I know about their Maplewood restaurant and the things I'm smelling in the kitchen, I've already decided to do whatever I can to get on their good side.
He is Dwayne,
Okay.
our executive chef.
Okay.
And right now we're trying to put together a parrillada, which is just different cuts of meat, sausage, blood sausages, and instantins, like chinglins. Those called chinglins in America. They're called chinchulines in South America. And now you're going to see the whole process. In Uruguay, basically, when you're a boy, you learn this from your dad. Your dad passes it to you, or your uncles, and basically it's a process. They let you first start a fire and cook for a couple of sausage, and when they know you're ready, they will actually let you do the whole parrillada thing.
Uruguayan food is very meat-centric and most often associated with ideas of gauchos and rugged terrain. The steaks are thick and there is no apprehension in the large cuts. Usually it's combos of different bits all cooked over an open flame. The focus on variety and cuts Daniel offers are a direct reference to Uruguayan traditions, and the taste that comes from cooking something over a real flame is one of the hallmarks.
Those are the blood sausage, skirt steak, and short ribs. Very, very common cut. I will say one of the famous cuts in South America.
Another side that Daniel has stayed true to his roots is this: sweetbreads, the thymus gland to be exact.
I love sweetbreads. To me, it's one of the best.
So I see like Argentinians, when they cook it, only salt, right?
Only salt.
Yeah.
Uruguay and Argentina, we pretty much cook the same way.
This is the part where I can quote a line from the classic Anthony Hopkins role from the famous 90s psycho thriller, but I won't, because I'm sure you get the reference. But in reality, it's quite delicious. Sans the fava bean and served here with chimichurri.
The best way to eat this is right next to the grill. So like that, with the chimichurri, and I think it's the best. you let me know. You can taste the lemon, you can taste the salt, the tenders of the sweet bread.
It's noteworthy and no exaggeration to say you can probably not find this dish within a couple of 100 miles of here at least. The fatty texture and the chimichurri is what I'm going to be daydreaming about for a long time, and it's on the menu.
And now I want you to try the same way.
Okay.
You grab a little bit of the chimichurri, go into the blow sausage. And you let me know. We always joke with my wife that you can add chimichurri to arroz con leche and you will eat it because it makes everything better. Chimichurri is the sauce that goes with everything.
Once upon a time back in Uruguay, before the move to Miami, Danielle was a pro soccer player.
Back in '87,
Okay.
a couple of friends and myself, we came to try and play soccer in United States back in '87. And it wasn't the right moment at that time.
Yeah.
But I cannot complain. Everything went well, and now I'm married after 25 years with my beautiful wife, and owning this restaurant. And my son is following my footsteps, and he's playing for right now for Miami United in Miami.
Okay.
He just turned 19 years old, and he want to become a professional soccer player. And it's not because it's my son, but he's a great player. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see him become a professional soccer player. My wife, she used to own a restaurant 25 years ago back in Miami. And then she sold it, and then she moved on. And so, but I was always back there. Why we don't open a restaurant eventually? So when we came to St. Louis, looking for the place to go with the family, we didn't see one. My wife goes, "This is the place." And I said, "Are you sure?" He goes, "This is the place." So I said, "Okay, well, if this is the place, just start searching."
With the grilling done, Maria has begun to prep for her Dungeness crab creation. Ecuador is partially coastal, so growing up, Maria ate seafood. This isn't the thick huts of meat Danielle grew up on, but these crabs are huge. The beer boil is ready for the crabs, and they're so big she can only boil 2 at a time. It doesn't get any fresher than this. 15 minutes in the boil, and they're ready.
I'm from Ecuador, from Guayaquil.
Ecuador is located on the Pacific coast of South America, and one of its main exports is shrimp.
I think at one point it was like the third place in the world for exporting shrimps. So shrimps is, I think, cheaper than actually eating meat. Totally opposite of my husband, that he grew up in cow country. My husband told me, you know what, in my country, that's the kind of meat we are. We eat and do the chimichurri, this and that. And I said, well, guess what? I only eat seafood. I eat lobster. I eat crabs, shrimps, langostinos. So one day, when we were dating, before we got married, I told him to come to my house, and I said, I'm gonna cook for you. So I made a mariscada. And it was lobster, a lot of seafood, mussels, clams, and he got hooked. And the first day he said, okay, fine, I'm gonna marry you. And I was like, okay. We were like just going out. And he told me, oh my God, this is great. And 25 years later, he's still asking me, you never did it again for me, that. And I said, when? And I said, when have you seen that you keep feeding a fish that is already in the hook? No, you already fell for it. That's it. I'm not doing it again.
The way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Honestly, I'm a seafood eater. Now it's a good combination.
Any love story that involves a restaurant is my kind of story. A happy couple and a happy marriage of their different tastes of foods. Proof that you can fall in love when you eat good food.
Food is really love because that's how he got hooked. He fell for it.
Yeah. Finally, it's time to eat.
You can see here that we have the carabineros. This is from Spain. And the ones from South Africa, the langostinos. Don't know if you have ever tried them and how to.
I have.
Okay, so you know how to eat those. I mean, it's a very specific taste, which is.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's pure ocean. This is my kind of food. Seafood.
Asador del Sur is not Maria's first rodeo in the restaurant world. She and Danielle are transplants to St. Louis from Miami. Ask any Midwesterner, and the climate might seem like the biggest difference here. But if you ask Maria, the seasonal weather here comes with a warmer welcome all the way around.
I spoke to my brother. My brother he lives in Missouri for 24 years. And I always told him, you want to come to Miami and help me with my restaurant. He has experience in restaurant. And he always told me to come here and actually open my restaurant. And I said, no, there's no Latinos there. Listen, there's nothing like your food in here. We started coming more and more. And being as a family and going to places and trying this food and this food and this food. And I said, oh my gosh, yes. There's nothing like this food in here.
And we started searching, and when we went to Maplewood and found this place, we fell in love. We fell in love with the place, with the history, with the people, and it's been very welcoming.
The beginning was a little bit scary, but coming from New York and coming from Miami, where people are not that community oriented. It's kind of a shock, being from South America, living in New York and living in Miami when you mind your own business. And here, from day one, the landlord in this place was awesome. Like I said, am I that lucky? And he said, no, you're in the Midwest. This is the way we are. I said, wow. I was so blessed to be in the city of Maplewood. And from day one, not only my landlord, the city of Maplewood called me, introduced me to my neighbors, and my neighbors saying, what were you needing? What do you need? What is there? Where you are? Very welcoming. It made this experience of opening a restaurant an easy one.
So should we toast to Midwest hospitality?
Yes, to St. Louis, to Maplewood, and to Missouri.
Yeah.
Since we opened the restaurant, everybody is ordering more and more blood sausages, more and more our cuts, more and more mollejas, because they loved it.
As a self-proclaimed seafood expert, and I believe her, I look to Maria to show me how to eat a crab correctly.
This is called cangrejo in Spanish, the crab. You hold it in here, and then you open it.
The sound of a cracking shell just built my anticipation.
Don't feel bad. It took me about 17 years to learn how to do it.
Well, that is true. So I don't eat this part. I clean, which is the inside, without touching the fat, the yellow part. So I just leave the fat in there, pretty much. So I put some salsa there. You like it spicy?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that spicy. So this is a salsa criolla, tomato, some radishes, cucumber, tomato, and lime, and cilantro. And I put habanero, but you can put whatever red pepper you would like, And then I clean also this part of the crab, again the lungs.
And now the real work begins. The idea is to remove all the meat from the body and legs and put it into the shell with the salsa.
So you just cut it, break it in half.
Maria is thorough, and she takes it personally if any of the meat is wasted. So I'm just trying to keep up with her.
Now we come down to the meat.
Yep.
Yes. Then you remove the meat from there.
It might seem tedious, but Maria makes it look easy.
I've never really done it this way. This is a great idea to turn it over like that or use it as a vessel.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
So we just mix it around?
Yes, I just mix it around.
And if you like crab as much as I do, you know the reward is worth the footwork. That was an intentional pun.
I knew this was going to be good.
That guy was crawling few minutes back.
I know.
Cannot be fresher than that.
I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Now I don't feel bad for him anymore. Unbelievable. I'm full in more ways than one. Maplewood has been welcoming to Maria and her new business, and the community is catching on to the food too. But outside of the restaurant, Maria and Danielle likes to meet up with friends and of course grill out.
Is it true that Denmark is the happiest place on earth?
Everybody asks me that all the time. Well, I heard somebody saying the reason why Denmark is the happiest place on earth is because our expectations are so low. And so I don't know, you know, it's a tough question. But when you say low expectations, I think the difference is that we may not be as interested in getting a big house, a big car. It's more about, you know, you're happy on the inside, and as opposed to here, it's tough because, you know, you live around people that have a huge amount of money, and you spend a lot of time and effort maybe pursuing something that is not very important.
So this is the ball.
Wow.
And I believe when your country and my country met on that day, they were playing with Puma. So we're gonna kind of like a
Reenact? That's not gonna be good for you.
I know.
But here's the deal, if we play and I break my legs, I want you to call my wife and tell her, not me. You need to call her and say, and you say it's your fault.
It's my fault. It's gonna be a foul. It's gonna be a fault.
Okay.
Like you know, probably you're gonna try to escape and score, and I'm gonna go behind you like Uruguay does. Make it look like an accident.
Yeah. I don't think I've touched a soccer ball in 25 years. I'm either going to score some goals or break my legs. I'm not sure.
We're in the process of getting the fire going, and it will take about 30 minutes.
So should we play some soccer?
We should
while
go to the field while waiting for this, but we don't do that.
Okay, you want to do
fantastic.
that? I came with an empty stomach, prepared to eat. A surprise soccer match seems a little bit like an ambush. A 50-something chef versus a Uruguayan soccer star. There's actually a lot on the line for me personally, and for Denmark, I guess. Since I arrived in the kitchen yesterday, I've joked with Danielle about a 1986 matchup in which Denmark surprised the world and beat Uruguay in a major upset.
Any suggestions at all? I mean, what do you think so far?
Please let Denmark win the soccer game against Uruguay the next time.
I'm gonna have to make a phone call.
Yeah, okay. I now fear that all my taunting soon will come back to me.
Oh, you can do that as well. You sure know. Can you do something? Nice.
Wow, I saw it.
We got enough.
Good move. I have to congratulate you.
Well,
after 20 years, you did pretty good.
I did.
Yes, you did. Indeed.
I'm out of breath.
Oh, me too. I run more than you. A few miles. But you did great.
Well, thank you.
For a person who haven't touched a ball in 20 years, I can tell that you did play.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Fantastic.
I'm not going to break up the whole Uruguay-Denmark.
I know. I tried to erase it from my memory, but
okay.
Oh my God, the grass is high, and it's wet, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ball don't roll.
I hear excuses. I know.
I want to see you guys play. When do you guys play?
Maybe the new soccer team in St. Louis is watching us.
You think we got a chance?
Maybe.
People are actually shaking right now.
You know, I could always be the 12th man.
Yeah, 13?
Yeah.
Would I be ready?
If I sit on the bench, I'll be proud.
That's it. Me too. I can tell you got some moves. You just, tight. It's been 20 years.
It was the reenactment of the two games between Uruguay and Denmark.
Our version.
Okay, so there was no clear winner or loser, and I'm pretty sure the new St. Louis soccer team won't be trying to draft me. But in my defense, the field was very wet, and I had to borrow my producer's shoes to play in. and it's been about 30 years since I played, but it was still worth the possible injuries.
We want to try to duplicate more or less what we do in our country, putting all the meats together and start cooking.
My doctor keeps telling me I have to eat healthier and exercise. So today is a good day.
It's a good day.
I exercised and I'm about to eat healthy.
That's it. You follow the doctor's instructions.
Yeah, exactly.
You all want to come over here?
Yeah.
See, that's how long I've been in the Midwest. You all? What is going on? The food is ready, my blood is pumping from the soccer match, and everyone is in great spirits. Without even having the first bite, I'm grateful to be here. Laughter, new friends, and conversations is the kind of ingredients that makes the meal worth more than just salt and flour.
Yes, this call is, the weather might not be the best, but here people makes you feel like really welcome, really awesome. You don't have this in another place. I mean, not in Ecuador, not in the United States, not in Miami, not in New York.
Basically, what you're saying, we can all agree that St. Louis is the best city in America.
I agree.
Here's to that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Thank you for all your help.
Skål. Salud.
Salud.
Your husband here, he had 3 names while I've been with you. Freddie, Danielle, and Papi. So which one is the one that I should be calling you?
Papi.
I don't think you're old enough to be my Papi.
No, I'm not. When she's mad, she called me Freddie.
Yeah.
When she's mad at me for any reason or whatever, she's Freddie. When she's more like
Nice.
Yeah.
She,
Not that
she has some
often.
So
feelings.
when you're in trouble,
She called me Danielle.
when you're in
And
trouble,
when I'm in trouble, Freddie.
okay.
When she's in love with me again,
Yeah.
she call me Danielle. And when romantically, she call me Papi.
I see.
So by the name, I know how she's feeling.
Can I have a little more sweetbread?
Yes, you can.
Okay, it is so good. It is the best chimichurri I've ever had. It is so good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, but you do it well.
I told her to do it, so.
I fixed the recipe.
No, well,
Yeah.
it's kind of true. No, not totally true. I give him the basis.
Did you call him Papi when you took the recipe from him?
Yes, I did.
I really enjoy playing soccer. I can't believe it's been so many years.
I know.
It was a lot of fun.
You did
Yeah.
awesome. That was the perfect scenario for a slide tackle. I wanted to slide tackle you.
Yeah.
But when you were running, I want to go behind you and get the ball from you. But
Well, I mean, you see, you didn't have to do that.
you did myself.
I slide tackled myself,
Exactly.
and that's why I'm sitting in this wet cheek over here. This is just the beginning of a good friendship. I know.
Yes, please, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to do that exercise more
Yeah.
often,
And
you
if,
and I.
if Uruguay ever wins over Denmark, don't call me.
I will call you directly
Really?
on the same day.
Block him. Block him.
I've been lucky to meet good, genuine friends like Maria and Freddie. Danielle. I mean, it's great to know that you can get authentic Ecuadorian and Uruguayan food here in St. Louis. But it's even better to be friends with the one who makes it. Lucky for us, the combinations of their tastes makes for a well-rounded restaurant menu. I hope I'm part of your new family that you were talking about, because I really want a lot of crab, shrimp, and blood sausage and sweetbreads in my life.
You are.
You are. You're
Thank you
welcome.
for having
Food
us.
is love.
Food is love.
I found that no matter how good the meal is, it can be made even better when it's with the right people. And to hear how their journey has led them to St. Louis, it's another example of how many beautiful stories make up the fabric of this city, and how they're all different, but the same. Danielle is obviously a grill master, and Maria knows her way to anybody's heart with her food. It's a match made in surf and turf heaven.
And you know what? Our relationship built around food. And when you say food is love, it certainly is, because Our first day was this Ecuadorian restaurant. So we went there and we ordered ceviche. She had like 15 sodas with one ceviche. And I said, what is wrong with this lady? How can she drink so many sodas? But anyway, maybe because the ceviche was spicy or whatever.
Who had thought that you can taste the influences of Ecuador and Uruguay in one restaurant, let alone in Maplewood? But it's true.
This is a Latin American ceviche with popcorn.
So, you never know when you may find me haunting the bar or slipping into the kitchen at Asador del Sur, eating langostinos and sweetbreads off the grill until I'm eventually asked to leave, or until Uruguay beats Denmark in a real match.
Food is love.
Y déjame, no calles por más tiempo tu infidelidad, no juegues más conmigo que